Welcome all to Week 11 of the NFL Millie Roundtable. As always, I'm joined by former Millie Maker winner Felix in the Best Ball Street just a few years ago. We both had some days today. We are so ready just to talk football, kick back, and relax. Felix, how are you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Excited to talk some football. And I'm really excited for whenever these football games are only in America. I'm ready for that to start again.
I know, right? We get another one. Is this the last one? I
think it's either this week or next week, and then after Thanksgiving, there's no more.
Oh, absolutely. And Felix, I had my best chance at the Millie last week.
I was curious if you're going to be at the top of one of these because I figured you got to enter the Millie a little hot, you know, and I was like, I was expecting to be on top because I was having a feeling like the way we were talking about it last week, we were kind of on point.
We were, and your play of the day, Jahmyr Gibbs. And I would never have ran Matthew Stafford naked. But if I did that and put Gibbs over Puka, it would have been $1 million, Felix. It would have been a millie. There was a 1v1 off the millie. I think it was top 50. You might have finished like top 70 or something like that in the main $20. We survive in advance. We get those chances, and hopefully next time we convert that chance. That's the one thing. But yes, I hope to join the Millie Maker Club just like you do. You did. And Richie Smalls is also exactly right. Smash that like, hit subscribe. We'll go into these 11 games that we got to talk about here very, very shortly. Felix, how did you do last week, man? Great call on Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean, I put 100% on Jahmyr Gibbs on all my lineups last week, so I did pretty well. I've been running pretty good this season though with my plays of the day using Saber Sim. Like it's a match made in heaven, I think.
Oh, no doubt. We got a ton of juicy games this week. Last week was the week of the running back, right? You had you had a 40 bomb from Gibbs and stuff. The early running backs, A-Chain went absolutely bonkers too.
Yeah.
Whoever the value was, I got short-term memory, but we also had the value bat go off too. It'll be quite interesting to see how this one unfolds. Tampa Bay going into Buffalo, their second straight AFC East opponent. Felix, I watched the entire Tampa game last week. I probably ran as pure as anyone with the Tez Johnson take, right? The 2 touchdowns, but the volume really wasn't astounding.
Right, that's what we talked about. I was like, he could go for 3 and 100 and a couple tutties. That's what we literally brought this up on last week's tape. We said we were debating between Tez and Parker Washington, and I think we both nailed both of those picks on the dot.
100%. And watching that game last week, you just saw that Drake May was able to pick them apart in that first half. And then when they got up 21-7, they had a big run from Travion to start the second half. Mm-hmm. Well, almost felt like the Patriots kind of let off the gas a little bit, right?
Did. Yeah.
And this is like one of those spots with Tampa. You're kind of like looking at like, man, is this a get right spot for Buffalo? Because I don't really love that Tampa Bay defense. And, we haven't had too much love for our guy, Josh Allen. On this show all season. At 7K, though, this feels like this could be a week to play him, right, Felix?
I'm actually so I'm going to start by saying I had a lot of Josh Allen teams the year I won the Millie Maker. I had paired up with who they just elevated from the practice squad, Mr. Gabe Davis himself. I am so excited to play that Perry. I know he's 3,500 and he's coming off an injury, but man, I'm excited to play that. Hopefully get it before he catches on and he becomes chalked.
Isn't there a little bit of a rumor going around that Keon Coleman could be in a
healthy scratch? I read that on Twitter just a minute ago.
Yeah, it's I don't trust the source it came from, but if there is smoke, there is probably fire, right?
Yeah.
That Keon Coleman status could very well go in line with what you were talking about with Gabe Davis, right? And then Shakir, I think the biggest thing to kind of just knock out of the way here first, too, Felix. No Dalton Kincaid. Pulled his hammy early in the second half, or might have been late in the first half against the Dolphins and did not return. Jackson Hall's caught a late touchdown. You have Dawson Knox with a sturdy roll at 3,300. The question, though, because last week, I think I finally committed. This is Dalton Kincaid's, receiving room, basically, right? Like, he's going to lead the Bills in receiving on a week-to-week basis, and Shakir is going to be there, too. Who's going to step up in Kincaid's absence?
It can easily be Shakir. I mean, that's the most logical thing to point out. It could easily be what's his face? I'm drawing a blank. Something more. Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore, yes.
He could be pulling in a lot of just like over the middle, check down targets. I can see them doing that, but I really am hoping that either Mecole Hardman or Gabe Davis kind of take over that role if that's the case, or if that's for a healthy scratch. There, I don't know, but Gabe Davis is a bigger dude, so that's why I thought they might have brought him in for that role.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have a little bit of a different receiving room, right? With no Keon Coleman, with no no Dalton Kincaid. Not that Keon's been great this season, but Kincaid has. And where these targets kind of deflect to, and you make a point there with Hardman or Gabe Davis. Josh Palmer has been a guy who's always getting down the field. Chris mentions too. That's the thing with Palmer is like, how much does his role really change? Because he has kind of been out in the field a decent bit already, but will he see some targets gravitate toward him? That could be the case. And that's my only issue with stacking Josh Allen this week is I don't know who to pair him with. And you got some ideas for the Millie Maker, which I respect. And I guess like Palmer, Hardman, Moore, and our guy Gabe Davis, like I guess I could be talked into that here, Felix, without a doubt.
Yeah. If I'm going to pair him up with anybody, I mean, this week personally, it's going to 100% every time it's going to be Gabe Davis, but that's just because I want to get ahead of the curve and not try to play a guessing game. I could see you playing Dawson Knox or Phil Hawes because he does like his tight ends. He's always targeted his tight ends, but
the Knox thing is interesting to me because like he's safe.
Yeah.
And we know Allen
he falls on his face all the time though.
Oh,
when he's chalky, he tends to fall on his face.
That's why I really want to check where the ownership kind of settles at tomorrow, right? Because I don't believe he's going to be under 1% owned, but if he kind of stays in the single digit range, like, yeah, I'll rifle him with some Josh Allen stacks. My issue is just like, is he really getting me 40 yards, right? Or am I just banking on the red zone targets? And if it's just banking on the red zone targets, I feel like there's a lot of tight ends who can match that production.
Yeah,
and one of those guys could be K. Dotton on the other side of the ball, who did really well last week. And look, you have a little bit of ownership on him. The Bucs side, though, overall, I mean, Emeka Egbuka, you got Rachaad White, K. Dotton. None of these guys project off the charts at all. Could this be a sneaky Tampa spot?
I think the game script could easily make it a good Tampa spot with and dude, Egbuka is going to be offensive rookie of the year. I think that's who it should be locked in on, and the dude just keeps coming rising to the occasion and going above. I think him and Tez together right now are a really good tandem and could push that. It could be a shootout. This easily could be 40-42 at the end of it, and Tampa stealing another close game.
That's kind of my thinking too, a little bit, right? Is that if you were to kind of stack up Buffalo, you'd almost want to run it back with an Egbuka or not. And even a Tez Johnson could make sense at 4,700.
Tucker sneaky, like they're saying in the chat too. Like he's sneaky.
Yeah, we're both on the anti-Rachaad White train, right? That's nothing new at all. The thing with Tucker though is like you would get him at like no ownership, and the role did look halfway decent last week. I will say,
yeah.
I get queasy playing a guy like that. Where
I agree. Yeah, because you're most likely going to just see 4 points. You're going to see a snowflake. It's going to be 42 rushing yards, and that's what you're going to get. Most likely.
That line last year, right, where he had like 40 DK out of the blue, right? It was just one of the most random games ever. I'm not playing for that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's a one lineup if you want to make it.
Yep. So sum it up, Buffalo sneaky stacks if you want to get a little bit dirty in the wide receiver room. Who replaces Keon Coleman if he is indeed inactive? Who gets the target share without Dalton Kincaid? Josh Allen himself at 7K is great play. We prefer to run it back with smaller pieces of the Tampa side if we were to stack that game up, more like a Buffalo Bills stack with a Tampa run back. Yep. Houston, Tennessee, Davis Mills.
Burn me, man. Burn me.
Baller. My God. Woody Marks, by the way, he is just RB1 there.
Yeah.
I'm not even don't have to care about Nick Chubb, honestly. You don't
he almost didn't cash our that part of the parlay or the pick six last week.
He got it on one of the last ones.
The last drive, yeah.
we hit that. You know that, right?
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
we
did,
missed
right?
on the Patriots, guys. Both of our Patriot picks went under.
Wait, I gotta check that out again. I gotta check in my result. I thought we hit.
Now
Hold on.
we hit the other 4. The only thing we both
Oh.
hit, we both missed on our Patriot guys.
Yeah, I see that now. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense there. All
Yeah.
right, I thought we hit. I knew we hit the first 4. That I was looking at it live
When the Patriots got up so far ahead, I'm like, oh, this
Yeah.
isn't going to cash. I was like, they're going to run the ball from here on out, pretty much, and they did.
That's brutal. We got Nico Collins, Davis Mills, Woody Marks, and then Tennessee side. I haven't been wanting to touch it with a 10-foot pole, Felix. That is for sure.
No.
Houston, they got a good defense. It's on the road though at Tennessee. Who are you interested in from this one?
Pretty much. So there's another quarterback in the 45 to 46 range that I'm going to be playing this week personally, but Woody Marks and Nico Collins are really the only plays I like from this game. I really don't want to bring anything back. This defense has been lightening it up for Texans side. I'm playing the Texans, I guess, defense as well at 3,700. It's not like there's not other defenses I'm going to play. This is just one of them I'm going to play.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense there too. 3,700 is a tall ask, but at the same time, we have seen these defenses matter a ton in the Millie Maker, without a doubt. I mean, the Seahawks last week, like I said, I had a good sweat last week going into it, and I didn't have the Seahawks defense in that lineup. I'm sitting there, I'm like, holy shit, the target line just moved 19 points. Like, you're just like tilted. And, these defenses going against offenses who can implode. I mean, the Tennessee Titans are at the top of that list. I definitely like the Texans defense. I like pairing it up with Woody Marks. I think those are 2 individually good plays. The Davis Mills connection with Nico Collins was encouraging.
Yeah, I was surprised.
It's like, I'm okay with those guys. I'm not going out of my way for any of them. I mean, Dalton Schultz, same way, right? He looked pretty good, but at the same time, they were chasing that game greatly.
Yes.
And honest to God, like, these coaches, they all have 2 faces, right? Their offense will shine when they're chasing a game, but then they'll never play like that when the game is close.
Yes.
And that's the part that kills me.
And it was the Jags. So we have to, put it in perspective that, it wasn't like the greatest defense that they were playing.
It is interesting too, because like I really feel like DeMeco Ryans and his staff really want to run the ball and be tough nosed, all that, and then all of a sudden it's like, God, maybe let Davis Mills sling it, but at the same time, I just don't think it happens, Felix. I do think they're going to be a little bit more run centric. Yeah. They'll rely on Woody Marks a lot. Woody Marks and the Texans D, my 2 favorite. Tennessee Titans. I mean, we've just been the A.O. Manor fan club, basically. Is that about it?
Yeah, but with Derek Stingley, I'm kind of out.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah,
Tennessee Titans, just not a fun click at all. We'll go to Green Bay taking on the New York Giants. There's some injury news in this one, and that injury news is Jackson Dart being out, and Darius Slayton. He looks like he has set the
He's out
as well. Out. Yeah, I thought he was out. I was just making sure. I didn't see the status bar. I got to drag.
No, yeah, I don't know who the wide receiver 3 is. It's either Gunnar Olsha. I don't know how to say his last name. The white boy, and then or Jalen Hyatt. I don't really know which one's the guy, but whoever is that guy is going to be.
Jalen Hyatt sucks.
He does suck, but
I can't stand playing.
But our boy Jameis Winston here is going to make it happen because he's just going to throw it out there, and whether he cashes it or not, he's going to get a lot of. Whoever's the wide receiver, the deep wide receiver, is going to get a lot of opportunity here.
This wide receiver room, if you just throw in Jalen Hyatt there, makes me gag.
Dude, I had so much Jalen Hyatt last year in best ball. It's embarrassing.
Oh God, yeah.
That's 0.
You made the point, right? Jameis Winston being the quarterback, that's the one thing that can kind of bring it back a little bit.
Yeah.
But then again, it is one of the better defenses in the NFL. It is a really kind of gross spot. 4,600 for Jameis sounds cool on paper. Wandale's 5,500. Honest to God, though, I think I don't want to tempt fate here. I'm not going to have too much of the New York Giants. People can play Jalen Hyatt at all. I think I'm out on New York here. And then Green Bay, we saw this offense completely implode on Monday night. And the frustrating part about it is, it wasn't like, they were just at a complete disadvantage. It just felt like Jordan Love was just subpar. And
I think I think it is part of them being subpar. He's a little fit like back and forth, but I think that Eagles defense being healthy was a little bit underrated. That didn't really get brought into the everybody dogging on Jordan Love. Don't get me wrong, he didn't look great, but that defensive line looked pretty good.
Yeah, that is true. And real quick, the play calling did suck, P. Lally. I'll tell you why I'm not that concerned about the sweat on NBA, dude. I don't think I have a sweat much at all. I'll be honest here. I can run these contest sims. I know for DraftKings, I definitely don't. The reason why I pivoted, Felix, was I didn't realize that I was sharing that screen. I thought I was sharing the other screen. So I guess I'll just address P. Lally. So let's see if we do have a sweat in the NBA tonight. I did not mean to completely deviate away from the Packers Giants. I meant to do that on the other Saber Sim tab that I have open, like I usually do. But might as well commit to the bit here and also answer East LA Fantasy Guru. I mean, Saber Sim, they have a really good diversity feature now. Like Portfolio Plus is one of the big things, East LA, and they continually improve their product great, and I adjust projections quite a bit. I get a lot of hands-on, like the day that I was fortunate enough to find the right combo with Drake London. That was very heavy Bears bumps, and Felix would be the first one to tell you too that you take stands, right? And yeah, it's fun to make stands. It's even more fun to be right and get rewarded with it. That's for sure. It does look like we might have a small, tiny little sweat. We will actually have a decent FanDuel day. So we will check that. I am sorry to interrupt our thing, but that's part of the thing that I love about SaberSim. Our partners, they are incredible in every single sense. And yeah, you're able to see how you're doing live. If you wanted to check out my DraftKings one, it would be way worse than that. I trust you. I did check before the show. But yeah, I mean, the one thing about Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, though, is that they will probably play like the whole game. I mean, the Christian Watson routes have been there, and you're a big Christian Watson fan too. Yes. 4,400 against a weak defense. I could be talked into a little bit of Love minis tomorrow, even maybe a double stack with Love.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that. And you could stack it like where Jordan Love got hot early with Christian Watson, and then still play Josh Jacobs tearing up in the second half because this run defense is not great either. So you could attack this with both the running back and because most people see Josh Jacobs as more of just the volume back, just carrying it over and over again, which I think he will do in the second half of this game. I do think it gets a little out of hand, but Jameis is just out there throwing up bombs. The defense here is also in play, and very much in play this week. I know I'm hitting up on all the expensive defenses this week, but there's so much value I think on this slate that I'm spending up in little spots here and there, and this will be one of them as well.
We don't talk about defenses a ton on this show, so I like how you're bringing it up a little bit because a lot of people even hand building and stuff. I usually if I'll kick the can down the road when I'm building the lineup, hand building one, especially my main. It's like whatever defense fits. But over the last couple of seasons, even I kind of get keyed in on where I would want to land if I had this much salary left. Who's my go-to instead of just playing whoever fits, but. I like the Browns defense a lot last week. Naturally, they gave up 2 special teams touchdowns to start out. But if you had the Jags, who were fairly chalky in that range, they had a really good day, even with giving up 30-plus points than the Seahawks for that winner. But I do like talking about the defenses a little bit here. It's interesting, too, because, Musgrave's role could be one of those sneaky spots where it kind of snatches it, right? Because with no Tucker Kraft, this room is weird.
Well, the reason that Tucker Kraft ended up taking the job from Luke Musgrave and taking over as the main tight end was because of how good of a blocker he was. That coming out of college, Luke Musgrave was the better pass catcher, the better route runner, all those things. So if he's included into this game plan, he's easily very much viable to be played. It's just, can you trust it? That's the hard part.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I can trust Musgrave a little bit, but again, I don't want to get carried away. This defense is bad, though. You get a very chalky Josh Jacobs. I'm kind of slightly hesitant on that, Felix, but I don't mind him, right? That's the number one thing. If the Giants do drop back 45 times, King of Smack. Like, yeah, I would even be on board with Hyatt then. Just like, I wonder what their identity looks like without Dable, right? Without Dayball there, how does this team kind of go about it? Because wasn't Dayball the play caller, Felix?
Dayball was everything, yeah.
Yeah. So this offense, I'm kind of expecting a small hitch in their step. I just don't know.
I will say that the running back situation, I do think that there's gonna be less, like maybe 2 to 3 carries total for Devin Singletary, and it's gonna head towards Tyrone Tracy, which could lead to a sneaky upside for Tyrone Tracy. I guess this defense is not great, right? But
yeah,
they're gonna be down so much that maybe there's a lot of check down, and then PPR obviously on DraftKings it could pan out like maybe
it can add up. I mean,
yeah,
Tracy had a good start in the receiving game last week. I
yeah.
know that. I'm going to be cautious on New York tomorrow. And I know that's an easy thing to say with an 18-point team total. But, man, anytime you lose your play caller, and honest to God, I actually thought Dart was really good too. Like, I think they come out flat.
Yeah, I can see that.
Bears, Vikings. Box score watchers, excuse my language, jerked it to Caleb Williams last week. That was the most disgusting quarterback performance I've ever seen. He is terrible. That dude is awful. I'm sure he's a good dude. That dude, if he is your quarterback for the future, good luck, Chicago. You're going to be losing for a long time if you commit to the bit, because he is horrendous. He is getting happy feet in the pocket. Brian Flores is going to have a field day with Caleb Williams tomorrow. They're going to blitz him. He's going to make mistakes. You want to talk about a defense that I love, Felix? It's the Vikings at 3K, because I've watched back-to-back games of Chicago Bears football, and I cannot lie. This guy is not it. And he's got the weapons. He's got all this talent invested in him. He's got Ben Johnson, and he still isn't it. I am out on the Bears. I am out on them here because, look, Swift is still the guy, right? But Monungai still played a decent bit last game. I don't really want to play the split backfield on the road in Chicago, right? Or on the road in Minnesota. And then Odunze, we just saw him goose egg basically against the Bengals in one of the best spots because Caleb can't get him the ball. And now you got all these guys that kind of priced up too, where even like our guy Loveland's 3,600. They were playing Cole Kmet a decent bit last week. Got Luther Burden back. I'm out on the Bears, Felix, and I'm in on Minnesota. What do you think?
Yeah, if you could bet on an individual to score a touchdown on defense, I would. It'd be Van Ginkel. They're going to throw some dumb screen, and Van Ginkel is going to take it, and he's going to score 6. It's going to be early. I'm probably going to bet a first touchdown, Vikings D. And then I'm going to be playing a lot of Aaron Jones on top of it because they're going to get some shorter fields. They're going to be probably slowing it down, let JJ get, he looked terrible last week. I'm not going to even short it. To be fair, Justin Jefferson kind of quit last week.
He quit on that one route, right?
A couple times. Like there were a couple of drop passes. He didn't look like himself. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to try to bring everybody back in. Then it's going to be a defense game for the Vikings and Aaron Jones. And maybe, I'm going to stick with Aaron Jones there, yeah.
So you're going to get J.J. McCarthy back at what he does best, Felix, relying on his defense and being a game manager, just like at Michigan.
Perfect.
Yeah. Top 10 pick in the NFL draft right there. Great stuff.
Hey, game manager is all we need, baby.
You got a natty. I can't hate on him too much. He was actually a winner in college, unlike some guys in this game. Justin Jefferson, also a national champion. This is the spot, Felix, where with Chicago, this defense is that bad. And a lot of people could look at it on paper again and be like, well, Jamar Chase didn't have that big of a game. T. Higgins did, right? Chase Brown did. And a big reason why Jamar Chase didn't have that big of a game, too, is because the Bengals barely had the ball. Like, they would just have, like, one play drive and stuff. This Chicago defense could just be awful. And I do want to stack this. You know how much that means coming from me is I'm going to be stacking some J.J. McCarthy tomorrow. But that's just because of how much an anti-believer I am in the Chicago team. And I'm going to have a lot of Jefferson, hope for a strong rebound week. But you're right. There were some clips going around on on X this week that, you kind of cringed at, right?
Yeah.
I like the Aaron Jones take. I'm always going to like Addison and the Millie. I think the biggest thing, right, is just you're just convinced that it's Jones is the alpha in this room over Jordan Mason, right?
Yeah, I kind of like stammered there towards the end of that statement when I was making the Aaron Jones statement, because it's like I could see them giving a couple goal line carries to Jordan Mason, but I do think Aaron Jones is the alpha in that room.
Yeah, I agree. And, you're getting him at 5,500 too. It makes sense why he is a little bit popular here, projecting for nearly 20% ownership as things stand. It makes sense. It checks out. I will definitely have him, again, out on the Bears, in on the Vikings. Brian Flores, Vikings defense.
Also, I just want to point out that the Prez put out like a little tidbit on the Discord where it's like the average ownership of the running backs and the Millie Maker wins is about 5,700. So I'm just saying 5,500. He kind of fits that mold of a running back that you may want. I'm just saying, like, that's just what has happened all year. I take notes.
Yeah, I mean, God, last week with A-Chain and Gibbs, and then you had who was the value running back I'm forgetting on, Felix? It's gonna bug me.
Yeah, Dattle did okay. He didn't really do great.
Wasn't Rico's the other dude? God, now I got to check this out. Scores week 10. It's gonna kill me. It's just nagging at me because I tried to remember at the beginning of the show too.
Yeah.
Games. It wasn't Hendo either because I didn't like Hendo, and Hendo didn't start, by the way, and Terrell Jennings did. And then sure enough, Hendo's gone off the last 2 games.
Yeah.
God, maybe I'm just an idiot.
DraftKings.
That's definitely the case here. I'm just an idiot. There wasn't a 5K guy. I think I'm thinking of 2 weeks ago with my num guy.
Oh, okay.
It had to be, right? I'm just like looking at the paper right now. That was a no wonder why I couldn't remember. It didn't exist. Broccoli taco. It's Red Bull. What do you mean? Hey, by the way, if anyone wants to get 30-minute watch, the Red Bull skier skiing down Mount Everest. Red Bull posted a video on that. Really, really cool stuff. It's like no commentary for 30 minutes, just pure vibes. If you ever just got 30 minutes, check out that video. It's posted about a week ago, man. Skiing down Mount Everest without an oxygen tank, man. Crazy stuff.
That's wild. No, thank you.
It's like I was just like looking at it. It's like what they're 8,200 or 8,000 meters above, 8,200 meters, whatever it is. It's like they're almost like 2 miles above us, just living life in Nepal. Bengals. I don't eat Chick-fil-A breakfast, broccoli talk, even though I'm pissed off at Chick-fil-A because I just spilled a milkshake in my car and spent 30 minutes trying to clean it. Couldn't clean it. And it's because they give you a drink carrier. And when you have 2 drinks and then you take 1 drink out, it tilts the entire drink carrier. And sure enough, my milkshake spilled all over me. And yes, I'm a fatso because I ate that milkshake still. That what was left in the cup because the milkshake is so damn good at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
The Bengals taking on the Steelers here. Jamar Chase, we saw what happened last time these guys faced off.
20 targets.
20 plus targets. This is another Jamar spot, in my opinion. I'm kind of shocked by how low the team total is in the Bengals and the Sims here. This offense has not been the issue. What did I say a couple weeks ago, right? Like it was like anytime the Bengals run the slate, you want to target against them. And then the one thing that challenges that logic is, well, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Jalen Warren killed the Bengals last time they played. And he was the actual bell cow in that second half. And Felix, there's one guy that I'm like, oh, yeah, I definitely want him tomorrow. It's actually Jalen Warren on the entire slate. The problem is, so does 32% of my friends.
So, yeah, I'm going to be on the other side of that with the 21 to probably it's probably going to be like 25% of my friends. It's going to be Chase Brown.
Yeah. Oh, really? Chase Brown. I like it.
Yeah, that's going to be my play of the day, most likely. I think he's going to tear them up. I think he put up 100 yards rushing the last time they faced them. So did Breece Hall. There's a lot of running backs that kind of torched them that kind of fit the similar mold. And I do think that Chase Brown can rock there again. You muted yourself.
Great call. I think I had it hovered. I unhit it.
You did,
Chase
yeah.
Brown killed the Steelers last time, and it should be noted too, because a lot of people might not follow the Bengals that closely. Samaje Perine is out for maybe the entire season at this point. I can't remember. I know he was placed on IR, I think.
Yeah.
But with no Perine was quietly taking 45% of the snaps. And without Perine in the mix, Chase Brown becomes a much better option on a week in, week out basis against a terrible Steelers defense. That's the one thing, Felix. Number 32 in the league against the pass. Pittsburgh Steelers. No, it's not the Cowboys. It's not the Bengals. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Bengals are really, really low in both categories. The Steelers are actually the worst pass defense in the NFL. Jamar Chase, Joe Flacco. They did it once already. T. Higgins, great against the Bears a couple weeks ago. I like this game. The problem for me, though, I can't trust DK Metcalf. He could be going against a cardboard box, and he'd still find a way to get covered and make the easy look ridiculously impossible. And then the tight ends, right? Like, I like Calvin Austin.
The tight ends are going to rock, but there's too many options at tight end.
Yes, that is the main issue. And any given week, it could be Jonnu. 2,900 though, 3,200 for Pat Freiermuth. That's who tore up the Bengals last time. And then Darnell Washington, it's only 2,700. You're at least getting upside for the price, right?
Yeah.
My one thing though, Felix, is it is very much a guessing game in a spot where if Darnell Washington caught a touchdown, he's only at 8 fantasy points, right? Like, it's not
breaking the slate.
Yeah, and Pat Freiermuth would have broken the slate if he was on a main slate the last time these two played. But how many times is he going to do that? Jonnu feels like the only slate breaker amongst that tight end bunch.
I agree, yeah.
I'm going to make a case for Calvin Austin. He's looked pretty good since returning from injury. Aaron Rodgers looks his way a decent bit. This is a Bengals team that can get beat on any given route. Might as well go with the deep ball guy at 4K. Calvin Austin would be my favorite pass catcher from the Steelers.
Ooh, I'm going to go with Roman Wilson. I think they've been splitting a lot of shares, him and Austin. So I think they're going to be like they play a very similar role on that team. So, and they both but they seem to get Roman Wilson more of the ball closer. So if they don't hit on the deep ball, I feel like Roman Wilson will hit the intermediate stuff and could easily beat and outrun some of these Bengals defenders.
I really like that, Felix. And I'm going to pull up last week's snaps too, because I do like to kind of visually see that. And this is the Steelers team that I think visually we need to see, right?
Yeah.
And you were right. Like, Roman Wilson did get 14 routes last week. Calvin Austin still basically played like almost every single one. So like Roman Wilson is completely solidified as wide receiver 3. Yeah. In a game against the Bengals too, where this could be more of an open type script. I do like that. I do like getting a little bit cute outside of DK Metcalf because, again, that dude is just not it, man. I was really happy when the Steelers traded for him because I knew they would no longer be a factor for the division. And then there's egg on my face because they're going to win the division.
They're probably going to win the division, yeah.
Oh, God. Actually, they might not, man.
I hope that – I don't hope, but I think it's better for the NFL if the Ravens win it. But, man, I hope the Steelers win it, and they're an easy matchup in the playoffs for my Chargers.
The Bengals win this week, and then we're going to get false hope. I love Zach Taylor. I can't win.
They need to win, man. I want Joe Burrow to come back and play competitively because I have so many Jamar Chase shares that are going to make it into the playoffs.
The Bengals made a decent amount of moves, Rance, in the defense side where they just shuffled up the practice squad a little bit. I'm sure Al Golden got his ass chewed out. I'm sure Zach Taylor is sitting here fighting for his job. If there isn't a fight from that Bengals defense tomorrow, I am going to be livid as a fan. I know every other fan that in this area is going to be livid because they're already really mad. Really mad. Anyone you talk to is a Bengals fan. They'll tell you the same thing. It's just they're not worth watching right now because you can have fun watching Flacco. You can have fun watching Burrow. At the end of the day, if the defense is going to give up 40, man, it's not fun. I'll tell you what. The only reason why I watch it is because of fantasy. It's just as a fan, it is absolute torture, though. I will say that. And
this game does matter for fantasy, most likely. Most likely.
Carolina, Atlanta. Rico Dowdle, is his status still up in the air, Felix? I don't
believe so. I think he's clear to go.
Perfect. All right, so that's good then. If he is fully in, crazy. They start giving him the rock. and they started winning. And then last week they put up a dud there after scoring on the first drive against the Saints. It looked like Rico Dowdle was going to roll. I think he had like 12 fantasy points in the first drive, and then did nothing the rest of the game.
They got whooped in the second, or the second possession and on.
You know, it's that Tyler Shuck, man. 17 points.
Whoa.
He actually looked good. I watched that
okay,
game. He was making some throws. Juwan Johnson was naked a couple times too. That Panthers defense might
it's not great.
Yeah, it's not.
But they did shut out this Falcons offense earlier in the season, 30-0.
I didn't even have that in my notes on this game.
30.
Didn't even have the recent matchup on here because that's so many weeks ago. I think Atlanta lays belt to ass at home.
Yeah.
And the reason is you got embarrassed at home. It's a division game, right? It's like almost like you need to get your lick back.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about it. The Bucks, this is a sneaky close division, right? I know that the Bucks losing last week was one of those things where, maybe this opens up the door for all the other teams, right? 6-3. The Falcons almost have to win out to make the playoffs. You just look at it. I mean, 10 wins may get you in. They can only afford one more loss. Your best chance is the Bucks faltering and then the division becomes yours. This would be step one toward it. Coming back from overseas, though, that's the one negative. Right? They just played the Colts overseas. They lost to the Colts and Patriots, by the way, the top two teams in the AFC. Both played them both tough.
Yeah.
I just don't this is the worst thing, Felix, is I've been such a Rico Dowdle fanboy for the last 3 weeks. I watched a lot of Carolina Panthers games.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that good, man. I just don't. That's why I keep coming back to, I like London. I like Penix. I like Pitts. I like Bijan. I like this Falcon stack. And then the other side of the ball, I don't want anyone. I don't want anyone on the Panthers. And
this game was a shootout last year at the end of the year too. I don't know. This could be a fun game.
So talk to me then. Sell me on it.
So Rico Dowdle now on pick 6, the leading projected most yards to run, right? And I do think there's something, I don't know quite what it is with the Falcons that they're missing, but they are struggling. They're on the struggle bus so far this year. Sometimes I feel like it's something to do with the game script. I haven't quite nailed down yet, but that they either kind of dominate in a certain aspect or they kind of just get rolled. And I think that's what happened the first time. I don't think 30-0 is on the table for this matchup for the second time around, but I do think it's a more competitive matchup. You can see Rico and a T-Mac type of game here. He his guy, they're in a dome. They could be moving fast. And I don't think this defense on the Panther side is any good, to be honest with you, after what I saw last week. So we could easily see a Pitts London game here, and it could easily be Bijan, but I'm trying to stay away from the high price guys this week, and play the passing game through, at least on this game.
Yeah, I can get on board with Rico. I can't get on board with Bryce Young and Tet because this spot in the passing game has been brutal all season. Who's the only quarterback to throw for 200 yards against them? Tua Tagovailoa.
So perfect correlation. These small Bama guys that,
Daniel Jones did it too. My bad.
Okay,
hand up. Don't forget the blow Duke too. No.
Okay, so these Southern guys that can't see over their lines probably. I don't know. These guys, that quarterbacks that aren't that skilled at their position, I believe that they may struggle.
Yeah,
but I could see it. I could see Bryce Young just tossing up a whole bunch of Hail Marys to T-Mac all game.
Richie Smalls has been on point with this one, running an extra line and 12 personnel, just running through them. That has been the case, right? That's probably been the Falcons' weak point, right? If you were just look at the schedule, we all know what Jonathan Taylor did. If you woke up at 11:30, right? You woke up late. You probably would have saw Jonathan Taylor run for his second touchdown before he ended up with 244 and 3. ridiculous. And when you go back to what the Patriots did, right? God, you know what? I just completely blanked. I guess if you're from North Carolina or Bama, you have success against this Falcons team. I don't remember Drake May throwing for 259 against them either. That stat is outdated. Outdated as of week 8. They got burned for 3 straight 200-yard passers. But Hendo, Jennings combined for about 80 yards. You had May get 20 for 100, and then obviously Dolphins. Right? You just had great success just offensively with them, and then CMC a few weeks ago. Maybe this Falcons defense is just not it. But the Panthers offense is just that much worse. I will play Rico Dowdle, and that's about it. But then Bijan, London, Penix, Pitts. Darnell Mooney, how many targets did he have last week? And he only caught one catch.
He's ass. I'm sorry. I don't want to curse too much on here. Usually that's not my role, but
I love it.
He's just straight up. I've never been a fan. I don't think he's the same guy after he left Chicago.
No, I like it. And Algier, he got the touchdowns last week, right? That's the one thing. P. Lally mentions it. They got Matt Murphy mentioned it too. They definitely do not care. Algier did run pretty well last week.
He did, but it doesn't make sense. Trade that guy away. Like you have the best running back. You have Bijan.
It's just got to deal with it on showdowns, man. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, Felix, you're the Chargers fan.
The most important game of our season is this game. We either going into a bye, potentially, pretty much locking up a playoff spot, or we lose and potentially getting passed up, eventually by the Chiefs. This is a winner. This could defend. This could be for the division right here if we lose to the Jags. It's very important.
Yep, the Broncos could then run away. You have the Chiefs-Broncos game with so much meaning in the same time slot as well. Actually, 3 hours later, I should say.
Yeah.
Kurt and I were on the Sunday night show last week, and Kurt kind of liked the Steelers a little bit, right? And a lot of it was because this Chargers offense without Joe Alt struggles. And what do we see in that first half against Steelers? Struggle. And honestly, if it wasn't the Steelers defense, I fear that the Chargers offense would have stayed like that the entire game. Jags defense, not great. But on the road, without Alt, Herbert's not going to have much time. Felix, I hate to say it, and you know how much I love Herbert. I'm a fanboy for Justin Herbert and Madison Beer. That team should not be a road favorite this week. I don't like him. It's brutal. They're not going to protect Herbert. Did you see the graph, right? When they come out there, it's like
36 of dude, PFF needs to get a job, man. They don't know what they're talking about.
It was true. It's true. That Chargers O-line's terrible.
It is pretty bad. But they don't got to do that to us on national TV. They don't got to do that.
It was great content, though. Great content. Parker Washington got there, and he also had a punt return, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
I think this game plays ugly, and it might have a decent total, and it might be in a halfway decent environment. Felix, though, kind of almost out on it entirely, and I mentioned it last week, too. This is the swan song for Keenan Allen, and the swan song, the music is fading. He has quickly become almost wide receiver 4, and he's been option 5 behind Gadsden as well.
Gadsden's a little bit coming off a little bit of a banged knee. He may come out a little bit slow, so this might be the last time you get a chance to play Keenan Allen. But honestly, I'm pretty much skinny stacking this for my boy Herbert and McConkey, or I'm kind of out on it on the Charger side, like to play for fantasy DFS. That's what I'm playing for DFS. I'm not playing Vidal, which could be viable, but on the Charger side, I'm only playing McConkey and Herbert.
McConkey and Herbert makes sense. We saw McConkey get there with 4 catches for 103 yards or something like that last week.
Yeah, and he got caught by Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I'm calling this one fool's gold, King of Smack.
Yeah,
I think. Again, I can get on board with Herbert McConkey stacks, as Felix said, but this offense tanks without Joe Alt and without Rashawn Slater. I worry greatly. ETN's in a boom spot, Felix.
Yeah, it's very yes. We give up big plays to running backs, and like we gave one up to Bill Krosky Merritt, but we just give up these stupid
Right.
30 to 40-yard runs, and that's Travis Etienne's game.
Yep.
And I would not be surprised if Etienne goes boom on us for sure. This easily could be, or it could be a tootin' spot. Like we get beat on the ground by random running backs, and this is one of those spots where we can get beat.
It's interesting. It is a funny thing, just looking at this Chargers schedule. It's like been so up and down.
Yeah.
And it looked like they got it together and then all gets hurt. ETN, and for those who are wondering what's a boom spot, our guy, Statsational, who's incredible, he makes
rating.
this boom rating, and it's a boom report. Basically, it tells you who's in the best spots, worst spots on the entire slate, and ETN being in a boom spot, as Felix just kind of mentioned too, giving up big plays to running backs, but also just fantasy score-wise, what their potential is of getting a ceiling score basically to win the Millie. It's a very good DFS tool. Check it out on the website here. Anyone else in this game, Felix?
In this game, I mean, you can go back to Parker Washington. He didn't get the targets that we thought he would get. He got through returning touchdowns and through other ways. But like, I do think we give up, like we were a bend but not break kind of defense. So you can easily just get a bunch of targets towards Parker Washington this week. I think it's going to be more accessible. But Jacoby Myers scored the touchdown that got called back. He might be more integrated into this offense than we don't realize.
Great point there too. It might just be an ETN, and I think I'm going to have interest in the Jags defense too. Sorry, Felix.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a great point though about Jacoby Myers being more integrated with this team. You could see a little bit lesser of a role for like De'Ami Brown or Parker Washington, just slightly, right? Where does this passing game kind of funnel to? And Jacoby Myers, another week in this offense, another week after being traded from the Raiders, definitely could, impact his fantasy performance in a positive way, but negate others around him just slightly.
Yeah.
49ers, Cardinals. Part of the reason why I had the big sweat last week, Trey McBride. What a game.
Yeah, spicy.
And now, no Marvin Harrison Jr. this week.
Yeah, weird.
This is an interesting spot. Marvin Harrison's kind of come around a little bit.
I was starting to buy it back in. I was kind of in this year. I had a whole bunch of shares on best ball, and I was kind of buying back in. But yeah, this was it a spleen or what was it? Appendix? I don't know what it was, but yeah, that's a weird time to have that happen.
Yeah, no doubt. And this game becomes a little bit more interesting again because the 49ers. I mean, their story might be the best in the NFL. Right? They just been with the backup quarterback and Mac Jones, and still somehow fighting and surviving, and they're 6-4. And then now we get Brock Purdy back into the mix, man. This game I really like because even before the Cardinals gave up a couple of defensive touchdowns to the Seahawks, they were getting shredded defensively, and the Seahawks completely packed it in that second half. They didn't care. There's some fluke turnovers too and stuff. But this game, I really like it. Indoors as well. We're in the middle of November. That kind of means
and Ricky P's back, baby.
Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so excited. I don't even care if he plays I'm not playing him in DFS, but I'm so excited for him to come back and just show that he's alive. It's been too long since he's last played.
No doubt there. I mean, this is a really interesting game overall. CMC is going to get love. You mentioned earlier, and I kind of want to get your take on this roster construction too. You're kind of avoiding more of the top end price range this week.
Yeah.
Does that apply to CMC?
It does not apply to CMC. CMC is a whole nother person. How do you pass on it? Plus, he goes off on teams that are a little bit below the belt. He wants to put up a massive. And after Brian Robinson Jr. scored more rushing yards than him last week, I think he kind of wants to, hey, I'm the alpha dog, watch and roll kind of situation. He wants to make sure that everybody understands that he's the dude there.
So I know we're a DraftKings show, DraftKings forever, but Fanatics did send me a Christian McCaffrey signed helmet. It was really sick. I'm going to be cheering for CMC every single week. after he was a part of that winning lineup. And they sent it. Nate's a great guy. He's a VIP rep there and stuff.
Okay,
man. It was I'm always gonna be in on CMC forever now, man. There ain't no talking me off that. No. Under 6K with Purdy, you don't have to stack him with like a Pearsall and Kittle, right? Like, because McCaffrey almost doubles as a wide receiver and a running back, but at the same time, you do have that cheap upside where, like Jawan Jennings, he had a great first half. I don't think he did a damn thing in the second half. I don't think he caught a pass in the second half even, unless that touchdown came in the second half.
I can't remember. He was on. I almost took down the afternoon slate last week. Alice,
he had 6 for 71 and 1. I felt like that was all
he was on it, but I can't remember. It might have been he was on fire at the beginning on the first half. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, and Puka. I mean, we're gonna get into that Puka game in a second too. This NFC West, you look at it individually. Every single team: Trey McBride for the Cardinals, Christian McCaffrey for the 49ers. Puka and Jackson Smith and Jake, they legitimately have like the best player for fantasy football at each position. Yeah. And, Jamar Chase could be the only other wide receiver in that mix because Puka and JSN are, both alphas as well. It's insane to me, like how good this NFC West matchups are. And then we get both of them at the same time. Jacoby Brissett's going to be a little bit of a popular play, 15%, Felix. I don't know, right? Like, I really like McBride at 6,300 without Marvin Harrison Jr., but are his other pieces capable of putting up a big fantasy score here on a Millie Maker slate?
I'm kind of out on Jacoby. I'm all in on Trey McBride, and I get that they're one in the hand, but like I don't know. Like I don't really trust Jacoby being able to get Michael Wilson enough work to add to his production. And honestly, I don't even know if the other guys have even had more than a handful of games in their belts as a starting wide receiver, and the running backs are terrible. Like, I think it's going to be a 49ers domination with a little bit of a Trey McBride running back.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. And I know it's in Arizona is the one thing, but I just keep coming back to this. Let's look at this wide receiver room. And someone mentioned it earlier. I think it was our guy, Rance. No, it was Matt Murphy. You mentioned it. Elisha Higgins potentially being a guy who gets quite a few more snaps. I love that in those individual showdown games, Matt. Yeah. And it's like one of those things on a main slate. Can you take advantage of that? And I usually come up with the answer that it's no. But I 100% agree with that take. And I would run that take into that showdown game and like think that, if you think you have a traditional edge on any given slate and stuff, that's part of that edge, right? I really like doing that in the 405 showdown slates where it might be like 10K to first or whatever. That's a great take. And it could definitely be the case because slot guy and Xavier Weaver and Michael Wilson could definitely be a lot more.
I have not a clue where Xavier Weaver played for. Like I watch. Okay, I had no idea. Not even an inkling.
And
I watch a lot of draft process. Like I'm in the weeds, and I'd never heard of Xavier Weaver.
The best part, he was in that final or the first Shadur year there. He was impactful there. I keep trying to think. I'm saying a lot this show.
No, you're fine.
And it's one of those things where that's the only reason why is because like playing college football DFS every single slate for the most part over the last few years. Xavier Weaver is like talented, but come on now, he's not been on a roster for a long time for a reason, right? He's not been getting meaningful NFL snaps. He's been in the league almost 2 years now. So Dortch is a slot guy. You're not telling me that Dortch is lining up out wide and stuff. This is why I'm kind of out on a very chalky Jacoby Brissett. Sure. And if you're like, man, Jacoby Brissett has Trey McBride, play Trey McBride because Trey McBride could easily have 16, 15 targets tomorrow, and it wouldn't shock me at all.
No, he's going to look – he's the best receiver. He's the best person on that offense. It's like, CMC for the 49ers. Like, it's like you have to get him his touches. You have to get him involved. If not, what are you doing out there? You might as well just packed up because you're not going to get anywhere.
I agree, and I completely agree with that. And, we saw him last week when the script was looking extremely bleak from just the volume perspective. Like, will they pull the starters or whatever? And they still fed him the rock. It was like, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
Just don't know what to expect from Purdy, P. Lally. I think he comes out fired.
I agree. Yeah.
I like Purdy a lot.
I kind of feel like they're going to want to like reassert themselves as the dominant team in the NFC West. Obviously, Seahawks are there, but I feel like they're going to want to look like they are the alpha there.
The NFC West is the best. We're moving on to a pair of 7-2 teams. I mean, like we mentioned, man, just elite talent in this division. I watched that Rams 49ers game, and I came away with a very lukewarm take.
Okay.
Puka in games they are going to be leading will never come close to his ceiling because he did not play that much in terms of snap count. Right? And just seeing him come off the field, he'd get a catch, come off the field, he'd sit out a couple plays, they'd run 3 tight end sets. I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, is Puka even going to come in? No, Stafford's dotting up Terrence Ferguson. Yeah. Stafford dotting up Tyler Higbee. Right? I don't know if this week would constitute it, but Puka, I think, almost has to be included in games that you're overstacking. I don't think you can just run Puka. And this is where the take kind of settles in. It's like, I'm not playing Puka on his own. I'm playing Puka with Seahawks running it back. I'm playing, if it's JSN, hopefully they go bar for bar.
That'd be great.
It's JSN and Puka fighting it out. But if the Rams are going to be leading games, I think they're being very cautious with his snaps, making sure that he's healthy when they go into January. Devontae Adams even tweaked his back a little bit, and they kind of kept him out there. He wanted to come back in. They said, no, hold on now. They gave it, got a touchdown with Stafford still. Problem is, though, it's like Stafford has shown just an insane ability. He's still top 5. I mean,
yeah,
he's still so damn good, man.
I think there's a little bit more to this Devontae back thing. As a person, I'm an old man now myself, so I'm the same age as Devontae. I've had a couple runs with sciatica here, and you don't get over that quickly. It could be a little bit worse than we were expecting. I would say let's play a little bit light on Devontae Adams to see if his back is actually okay before you play him again. And then I'm going to smash Puka here as well. Even going against this kind of elite defense of the Seattle Seahawks here, they've been better through the pass than they are through the run. So I will have a lot of Kyron as well, but I will have some Puka because I just do think that he is that dominant whenever he wants to be.
Correct. And it's just about opportunity. Like I said, I'm not playing Puka as like just a one-off in a game, right? Like I got to play Puka. I got to be stacking it up with Stafford and stuff. What'd you say?
T. Lally's.
That is good stuff. As far as the running game goes, Quorum's been getting a lot more work. Kyron had a couple good games. Don't get me wrong, but Quorum is getting like a dry, like probably about 33 to 40% of the work almost even. Kind of slightly out on him. I know that I caught the last great week. I don't want to just kind of ride that wave. I'm kind of slightly out on him. Devontae's been so good, but 7,700 is too tall of a tag. If you're going to stack the Rams, though, I'm completely okay with it. Stafford's just been that incredible. The problem is, outside of his top 2 guys, like, can you really trust anyone else? The answer is probably not. Darnold's been elite, 5,700. Jackson Smith and Jigba there, right? Like, if I could do a Darnold, JSN, and just for the sake of it, throw in like an AJ Barner or something like that and run it back with Puka. That's the style of lineup that I could do in this game.
Yeah, gotta throw Cooper Kupp in this week. You got to. Man. Revenge game. Revenge. Oh. They're saying he's not worth it. Oh, imagine Cooper Kupp 2 touchdown type game. Oh, it'd be so. I need it. I'll be honest with my best ball teams, but I would love to see a nice revenge game here for Cooper Kupp coming back home. Or not, I guess he is home technically in Washington, but I think they get him at least one. If it's a shootout, they get him one. At least one opportunity to get in the end zone.
The problem is they traded for Rashid Shaheed. Is Cooper Kupp just dusty, man? Like
he put up one of his best games this past week, even with Rashid Shaheed coming.
It was because they were giving him his swan song, man.
Yeah.
They were up by so much. They were like, hey, like here's some targets, man. Yeah. Well, it was 2%. Oh my god.
Yeah, he kind of got him, got on him. But like, to be fair, they kind of put Molly Wop to the Cardinals pretty early.
And Pila, you mentioned it too. It's very expensive to go that route. That's why you kind of like throw in like a Barner at 3,100, or you could go one of the Rams tight ends. They play 3 tight ends, man. So it's tough. It's tough. But I do like the JSN and Puka pairing. Overall.
I agree. Yes.
All right.
Save some money with the running backs that we were talking about earlier.
Correct. Absolutely. Ravens. Cleveland. Great. Cleveland defense is still good despite giving up a whole bunch of points to the Jets. A lot of that was special teams, and one of that was a screen pass to Breece Hall. I don't love the Browns or the Ravens in this one. I do like the Ravens defense 3,800. I think it's fine. We did see that this, Dylan Gabriel and Jerry Jeudy connection sparked a little bit last week. And
very little, yeah.
It was, I'm not going to fall out of my seat for Dylan Gabriel, right? Yeah. But maybe it shows some life to one-offs in this game. I don't like this Ravens defense at all. I know they've looked better over the last couple of weeks, but I'm not a believer. I'm selling on that. But yeah, I mean, why would I buy when Dylan Gabriel's the quarterback, right? Yeah. I think that's at the end of the day, that's the take. And Henry and Lamar are okay. I'm not going out of my way for any Raven, though. What about you?
I can see you playing some Zay. These are going to be my one-off games. It's more of like, okay, they kind of fit the build. I'll take the one-off here. I just remember the last time they played wasn't it week 2 that they played the Browns and the Ravens? Derrick Henry had like 2 yards rushing. It was bad. I believe the last time they faced each other.
I'm checking that now. I think you're exactly right. Yeah, we did get an absolute mess of a game last time that these two played. And it's interesting because divisional matchup, the game is in Cleveland. This is kind of what turns me off about the Ravens, right? Like the fact that this game is in Cleveland is like, just a little bit messy. And then when they score 41, Henry only has 23 yards. It's weird. And all their production was in the pass game, but even Lamar only threw for 225, right? It wasn't like they were just blitzing him through the air. A lot of that was just field position, right? Like at the end of the day, it's just field position. And can Dylan Gabriel get him out of bad spots? If so, this game kind of clocks in at the under. The weather, though, in Cleveland, for what we had, it's been incredible, man. I know they're getting some rain in Columbus right now, as someone who is watching, but we do get a little bit of wind tomorrow, but it's going to be a nice day overall. If it's windy, though, it can impact the passing game. Could be more of a rushing spot, but nothing just screams off the page to play any of these guys to me.
Yeah, I do like Keaton Mitchell. If we're playing like a showdown slate for that, I don't think he hits a Millie lineup, to be honest. As much as I think it's like 38% Keaton Mitchell in the best ball bags, but
just a couple Keaton Mitchell glazers here.
Yeah, so I love Keaton Mitchell, but I don't think he's gonna. He can easily run for a 40 and a touchdown, just like I said. Kyle Williams isn't going to do anything, and it could be one of those scenarios where he gets one carry and he blows it up, but
and then he does nothing as chalk.
He did literally nothing. Yeah.
It was one catch wonder. P. Lally, I say this as a guy who loves Ohio State. I was actually watching Ohio State before I left my parents. Right, I was visiting my dad. We were watching UCLA and Ohio State. UCLA didn't stand a chance. Love Judkins, but man, he has not thrived in even some favorable spots, even with huge volume. That's my one thing. But again, why didn't I like Judkins the one time he went off? Well, it was because he didn't catch passes and he was super chalk, and there was many paths to him being a failure in terms of that slate at high ownership. At 1%, I like it. All right, I can dig it.
Agree. Yeah,
that's the one thing.
The 1% ownership, is definitely viable.
With the volume being so secure.
Yeah, and Dylan Gabriel has shown himself not to be a viable quarterback. I do think it's going to be, if he's going to save his job, or if this play caller knows anything, is played bad, and just give it to Junkins and play that way.
I haven't played Madden in a while. I might pull up Madden here shortly.
I played some NCAA last night.
Oh, really? Who's your team in that? You play?
I played the Dynasty, and I'm the coach. First year I was like, I'll take this Purdue Boilermaker team.
Oh God!
I'm not. Obviously, I'm not. I mean, I want to sign him eventually with the blue, but that's all right. It's not bad.
Oh God, that's terrible. The Michigan job always opens up after a couple seasons, so yeah, you'll get that in no time. That's for sure. The game of the day, the 4:20. You know what? There's so many good 4:00 games. I can't even call this the game of the day, and I don't even like the Broncos. These games are absolute bangers in the 4:00 window.
I agree.
Then you got freaking Ravens Browns. Like what are they doing starting at 4:25, man? Like, come on now. Like, shove them to the 1:00 side. Chiefs, Broncos here. Chiefs coming off a bye. I think that's very big to note. Andy Reid as well, being a great coach. Rashee Rice, they have a bad taste in their mouth against the Bills. And the Bills had a letdown spot against the Dolphins the following week. I think the Chiefs show the Broncos who's daddy.
Yeah, I agree. I'm 100% on board with that. And I think Rashee Rice with Surtain out, I think Rashee Rice goes for 100 this week.
Oh, well, yeah, no Surtain, right? That's the big news. Still missing, has missed out the last 3 games, I believe, for them.
Yeah.
And no J.K. Dobbins, too.
Oh, RJ Harvey. Oh, yeah. Oof.
Yeah, you're going to like RJ Harvey. You got to, right? And the ownership isn't going to be that high. He's going to be involved in the passing game a decent amount. My one question with that is, can we trust Sean Payton to feed him the rock?
I think we could trust him that he's going to feed the rock, but I do also think they're going to mix in everybody else too, and that's going to muddy things up. Like, he's going to get the rock where he's going to get decent value, but it's not going to be enough to break a slate, if that makes sense. Like, he'll get probably 13 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown. Great production and decent, but it's not enough to take down a slate.
It's interesting. Yeah, 5,400. I'm not a huge fan, but he's going to fit some builds too. Like, if you want to go Mahomes Rice, again, it's expensive. We already like Puka and JSN. Rashee Rice, though, is in a good spot with no Surtain. And, Alexander, you mentioned it. Broncos D is good, but then you're still missing like your best.
I think we associate Broncos D good. I think they beat up on shit teams like the Raiders and people who can't pass. Like, obviously they're better at the pass defense than they are rushing, but I think they also just dominate the people that can't pass at all. And
I was so mad watching that Raiders game.
I was pissed.
How does Brock Bowers end a game with 3 targets?
One catch.
You gotta be worse than Willie Green in the NBA. Yeah. You're just throwing games at that point, man. Like, that is just, you got your best tight end in football, and you can't even.
It comes down to play calling. Yeah, it comes down to play calling, and I trust Andy Reid is a better play caller. Yeah, he's terrible.
Geno Smith sitting there, begging people to know that he's hurt. He's sitting there, he's dying. He's dying. He's I'm gonna come back out. It's like, sit down, dude. Like, come on, like, quit with the theatrics a little bit. But you're right. The Chiefs or the Broncos, here's been their schedule, right? Raiders, horrible. Texans went on the road against Texans, made Stroud look pretty bad, right? I guess Stroud didn't even play that one. I think I got that game mixed up. But Mills didn't have a great day. But again, you injured the quarterback got injured, and the Texans offense kind of struggled. Can you really count that? Cowboys, they beat up on the Cowboys at home. There was no doubt. They made Dak look bad. That's a positive.
Yeah.
Giants put up 32. Jets in London. What the hell was that? Eagles, back when the Eagles sucked. The Bengals back when Browning was quarterback. Maybe they haven't faced a good team. And again, this is why I'm 100% in on the Chiefs tomorrow. I think they lay wood. I think Rashee Rice is your guy. The problem is, though, if it's not Rashee Rice, who could it be, Felix? And Travis Kelce's not a bad price at 4,800. Xavier Worthy's been really tough to trust. And Mahomes has spread it around a very high clip.
I do think that maybe I'm just dumb, and I'm just going to go back to the board. I'm going to play some Brashard Smith. I do think that the Broncos are a little bit weaker against the run, and he's a really good pass catcher. So, like, it kind of fits both roles. Like they're going to want to pass the ball. I feel like they're just going to show like what they can do, and Brashard Smith plays better out of the backfield than our boy Kareem Hunt.
Brashard Smith, 4,100. You talk about a cheap dart that could get you there.
Yeah. I don't think 5 projected points. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just like I'm too much in my best ball bags, but I'm a slappy for Brashard Smith.
So week 9. That was the first week that Isaiah Pacheco missed. Rashard, I was kind of hoping for a larger role, man. I really was.
So like it's so like why hasn't he? But now coming off the bye, maybe they realize, oh, we don't, we have a guy kind of.
Rookie running backs off a bye are usually a good time to play them, and it would be a no ownership. That's the selling point. And if you're not a believer in that selling point, you get Kareem Hunt, who basically played the entire game at 5,200. Yeah. So I can be on board with one of those guys in the backfield. Yeah. Who do I run it back with? I think it's Sutton or Franklin. I think that's about it.
Harvey, Franklin, and if you have like no cash available, Pat Bryant.
I like Pat Bryant,
but that's just because I'm a Pat Bryant slappy as well.
Yeah, he should have housed that one last game. I say that as someone who played him and really wanted him to do well. Yeah. Harvey will be a little bit chalky, not a ton though. It's looking like 15%. I think he'll get up to 20 though overnight.
Yeah, I think Chase Brown. I think that 5,700 area with Jalen Warren, Chase Brown. I think that area is going to be where all the chalk is.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be an interesting slate for the most part, right? I look at these quarterback stacking options. I kind of want to run some teams just to kind of see like, hey, like what's hitting at a.
I got a lot of 2 tight end builds when I threw out the the generic, run the Sims.
It's interesting. I didn't love a lot of tight ends when we were talking about them.
Yeah, it was a lot of Trey McBride and then like whatever other tight end. It was like Trey McBride and everything else. Like
I was gonna say, you just look at the projections. It's a massive gap from Trey McBride. Then,
I think it's just like you have to play Trey McBride, and then you get some value with the other ones.
I can already see the stacks the Sabres going to push tomorrow, and I'm going to love it. It's going to be like Aaron Rodgers.
Arizona.
Yeah, it'd be Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Warren, Calvin Austin, and like Jonnu Smith, and then it'll jam in like JSN and Puka somehow, and I won't have Jamar Chase as a run back. Peel Alley, the beers are flowing. I went to Publix. I forgot to get beers. Well, actually, I didn't forget. I just forgot to bring in my ID, and I didn't want to go back to my car that I already spilled a milkshake in. Here's the top projected with the Run Pure Sports ones. It's a JJ McCarthy with Justin Jefferson. You got Michael Wilson. I guess Michael Wilson's going to be your value play there, right? Like it's going to be a good value. Then you got Chase Brown, Frymuth. God, it's just. I think that second lineup.
The lineup 5 or 6 is like K. Dot and Trey McBride, Hawkins and Gads. It's a lot of tight end builds.
And then you see Gadsden in that second one right below it. Yeah, no kidding. That's interesting. Those are some good builds, not builds that I think will have a chance in the millie though. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm filtering those out like by hand, personally. Not that I don't think that Saberson is doing anything wrong by putting 2 tight ends. I prefer like the little chart that he put into the Discord the other day. It was only one time tight end has hit the millie. Not to say it can't, but out of the 10 times 10 times that it's run, it's only hit once.
Yeah, so an interesting way to do that too, if you didn't want tight ends, double tight end at all. If you're wondering, like, how would I do that, right? You would go.
Hey, this is good for me. I don't know.
You'd go to all positions. You'd right-click position here. You'd hit tight end, right? Then you would hit flex only, and then you would uncheck the flex. So the thing that this does is they would appear in the tight end spot only, but they would never be in the flex. What would I do to undo that? Well, I go back here. I tell Saberson to show me my removed players, and then I can check them back in this way. So,
okay.
Yeah, really? Yeah. It makes it simple if you didn't want to do it.
This is my first year on Saberson, though. I will say that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really good stuff. All right. Time for our plays of the day. Felix, let's go ahead and get into it here. We got 11 games. We got several players that we can choose from. I am curious. I think, you're going to go Chase Brown, but you might not, right? Like I kind of want to go one under 10% as well. So I think both of our plays of the day were going to be pretty chalky. So we'll pivot to a sub 10% play of the day. If you want to get through your main one first and then search, and then I can rattle off those.
Yeah. I just need a couple seconds. Yeah, the main one will be Chase Brown. I think that he destroyed them once before, and I think he will do it again. I think it's a pretty simple play this week with him getting a lot of work as well.
I agree there. Chase Brown had his best game of the year, really, against the Steelers, and now no Samaje Perine a big boost to his snap share, you'd think, coming off the bye.
And he got like 90% of the work once P. Ryan came off the field.
Yep, and that checks out there. I'm going to go with the same game. I said if you want to have a successful DFS season, you do 3 things. You stack against the Cowboys, you stack against the Bengals, or you stack against the Steelers at this rate. So I like having Chase Brown as the run back, but Jaylen Warren is my guy. Ran wild against the Bengals last time. The Bengals haven't had a chance of stopping the run on any given week. Manungai absolutely ran wild against them just a couple weeks ago before their bye. Jaylen Warren has a big day tomorrow. Now, those are 2 chalky plays, right? I know people might
got one.
Yeah, and you got one right here. We're going to get into some sub 10% plays. Hopefully that, instead of just giving you a couple chalk options, we can give you something to kind of, make your lineup a little bit more unique. Felix, who is it?
Woody Marks popping in at 8% on mine. I don't know what it's showing on yours, but
yep.
I think with the game script, it's going to be pretty heavy Houston wise. And I can't trust Davis Mills for anything. So I do believe they're going to rely on Woody Marks and Nick Chubb. But I do think Woody Marks has shown that he's the alpha, and he's looked fast. He looked explosive. He looks like he's hitting the holes correctly. He looks good. So I do think that he will be my sub percent. Not my booty play of the day. I got that also available. My booty play of the day is Gabe Davis. And maybe that's a lot of wish casting, but the booty play of potentially just a long bomb, it's going to be Gabe Davis.
Interesting. Gabe Davis off the practice squad, 3,500 in the pass funnel script. I like that. The Butte, right? And then obviously we got a whole lot to like with Woody Marks. Going to go same team, same game. Calvin Austin, sub 10%, runs every route. Yeah. I'm overstacking the Steelers. I'm never going to not overstack against the Bengals again.
Can't go wrong from playing in Coors Field.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if Gabe with no Kincaid or Keon Coleman activated off the practice squad, right?
Yep. And I mean, he's been out. I am a follower of Gabe Davis on his socials. He's been out there. He's been doing stuff. It's not like he's, hobbling around. He's out there playing golf, going to UFC fights and working out. He has everything out there. So he's ready.
I like it. Yeah. Palmer sneaky as well, man. That game, I think the Bills will be a nice, really low on stack if you can get Allen right. That's the big thing, right? And if it's Gabe Davis, no one is going to have that except our guy Felix and anyone who's watching. I'm going to have some Gabe Davis for you. That's for sure.
Just you don't have to put on every team. Just one. It's just one.
All right, pick 6 time. Let's get into our pick 6. I am liking our plays of the day for the most part. I'm not going to lie, Felix.
Oh shoot, I have a Jameson Williams on my pick 6. So
I'm gonna go. We had the Rico Dowdle touchdown last week. That was the one thing I like.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to that same style, same multiplier. I'm gonna go with Jaylen Warren and gets into the box tomorrow. Touchdown against the Bengals.
Yeah.
It's a 0.8x multiplier, but I think he scores tomorrow.
And I'm in that same game. I'm going with Chase Brown over 59.5 rushing yards as he hit 109 against this very same Pittsburgh defense.
The fact is 59. That's a really good number. I really like that one.
59.5. Yeah.
59.5 for Chase Brown. We got Jaylen Warren to score in that same game. And then I am going to pivot here. We're going to go to our Rams Seahawks. All right.
Okay.
It's not going to be Puka. No. Like I said, Jackson Smith and Jigba. It's a tall, very tall number. But, man, I think he does it. I think he's just been on that type of roll. I think he gets 100 yards receiving tomorrow, over 97.5 receiving yards.
Nice. I like that one. I have Josh Allen, 213 yards passing over. I think it is going to be a shootout. Game script is going to play out that way, and that's the way to attack the Bucs. That's
another slightly lower number than I was expecting. I really like those two, Chase Brown and Josh Allen, to be honest. I like them more than my two. I'll say that right now. I like those two more than mine. Jags, Chargers. I don't really want to go. You know what? No, we're gonna go against Caleb Williams, right? That's what we're gonna do here. Can I get interceptions? Can I get interceptions in here? Surely.
Is that? I don't see how. Or
surely I can get interceptions. Yes, I can.
Interceptions thrown.
Oh yeah, 1.1x multiplier. This is where I make my bread back. Caleb Williams throws an interception tomorrow.
I like that one. I like that.
Felix, finish us off.
Okay, so I am gonna go with. I was gonna find Rashee Rice. I cannot find him. Where he's at?
They're all the way at the end.
76. I said he's gonna put up 100 receiving yards. He is at 76.5. I think that he hits this over easily.
Perfect. Rashee Rice finishes us off 22x. People know the drill. We usually get a boost pack, that's for sure. Oh, the choice is mine, Felix.
Okay.
Pick 6 says 100% boost for 4+ picks or a $50 no stress entry. Now let's check. How much is this $100 boost for? It is. Well, it doesn't tell me a number. Maximum $50. So you know what? I don't want to stress free. I want to double it. I want to double it and win $2,000 with this one. It would be what, $2,200? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna claim the promo. We're gonna do 100% boost. If this hits, we'll give away. Since we got 100% boost, $200 tickets next show. That's what we'll do. So 50 into 2,200. It could be more with the purple payout. Good stuff. Good stuff. For Felix and I, we appreciate y'all for watching. If we don't win the millie tomorrow, well, we know one thing for sure. We hope one of you do. All right, one of y'all watching. Should be a great time. 11 great NFL games. Got NFL action from the morning to the night. Good luck, everyone, and have a great rest of y'all's day, and bye-bye.